Okay, with my funky hair and all, today I'm gonna answer some questions. This one, uh, it kind of goes right off where I left off on the last one. It says, lupus affects everyone differently, so which symptoms have you had and which parts of your body have been affected by lupus? So we'll start with symptoms. Malar rash, yes. You can see that it's there somewhat today, and you have seen it a lot worse, 100 times worse. My malar rash really comes on strong. Discoid rash, yes, but very, very lightly. I mean, nothing severe at all. I get some blisters and some ulcerations and, some round sores, but maybe one or two at a time, nothing major. Sensitivity to light, yes, that's why I'm so white, is because sun is not my friend. Oral ulcers, yes, and mine is more like I've eaten something really hot and burned the inside of my mouth, and my whole mouth will peel. Mine is more like that versus being individual ulcers, although I do get those. And I also get nasal ulcers, and not from the oxygen either. I've always had them. And actually, since I've been on the oxygen, I've had them less. Arthritis, yes. It comes in varying degrees. Sometimes it's excruciating. Sometimes I can't even bend my fingers. It hurts all my joints, my hands, my feet, my knees, my hips, my neck, my back. One day it will be in one spot, next day it will be in another spot. It just moves around. Pleurisy, yes, which is, the inflammation of the lining between the lungs and the ribs. And I hate to say I'm used to it, but with lupus, we learn to live with the pain. Definitely times you can hear me wheezing, or you can hear the rubbing of it clear across the room. Other times, I just grin and bear it. It's always been there. And hematological disorders, which is blood disorders. I have the APS, which is the antiphospholipid syndrome, which is like your blood clotting, and that, in which when we found out that I had it, I've been on baby aspirin ever since, and I haven't had any serious problems with it. Those are the symptoms that I'm looking at on my sheet of paper. So I hope I'm not missing any, or that some was left off. And it's okay. And the next part of the question is what body parts and how has it affected me? We'll start from head to toe. That'll be the easiest way. As far as my brain, I really have bad, the cognitive, the brain fog. Because I think I'll be doing really good on a video, and I'll watch it later, a day later, a week later, a month later, and I think, my goodness, I didn't realize I was that bad. And it also, Dwayne is used to me also, and I'll say, look at this video, why didn't you tell me I was in that bad of shape? And he doesn't realize it either. We're just hate to say used to it, but we're used to it. So the brain, that my pituitary gland, it hit it. I have panhypopituitarism, which I have to go to an endocrinologist for, and which I've been seeing her for 12 years, and everything just came on one after the other. And, of course, we didn't know to relate it to lupus or anything until years later. But so, like on panhypopituitary, my thyroid, I have to replace that. Growth hormone, that is replaced. My adrenal glands, that is replaced. I have problems with diabetes off and on. And, there's been times when I've been on insulin and then times where I've been able to get off, which I need to probably start checking it because since we raised my steroid and how I'm eating, I probably have my blood sugars high, so yay, that's something else to do. So the pituitary gland, it's affected that. My eyes, this all began, like I said, with optic neuritis. And my vision every day, every minute, honestly, it can change from minute to minute. Like right now, my vision is horribly blurry and somewhat double vision. At times, my eyes will cross and my depth perception will be off. The blurry vision. Sometimes I'll even still lose the vision, but the doc will treat it with high dose steroids and it'll come back. So my eyes are affected. Then that brings us on down to like in my lungs. I have from the pneumonia, which went into pulmonary failure, is now pneumonitis, which is inflammation of the lungs, which is the lupus is still hanging around in there fighting against that, and this has been a year later, which is hard to believe. I've been on oxygen for a year. And I said my stomach, I'll have the stomach spasms, so I have gastrointestinal, there's vasculitis in there somewhere, and I've dealt with that and hospitalizations due to that. Going down lower, what else is there? I constantly have current UTIs and everything, but I guess that would probably be due to medications treating the lupus, making me immunosuppressed, in which, you have all of your symptoms of lupus, then you have the symptoms that are brought on for treating the lupus, like from the steroids. You get the moon face, which you guys have seen me a lot more swollen, and I had gone down more than this, but now it's starting to come back up. And the steroids also, well, I don't know if it's steroids and the lupus both, but my muscle loss, that's why I'm on a walker and in a wheelchair, is I lost all my muscles and I'm having to work to gain it back, and it's been a slow process. I was told that lupus patients, for like a normal person, let's say you get pneumonia and it takes 6 weeks for you to recover from that. The lupus patient, for every 1 day a normal person takes at least 3 days. So that would have been 6 weeks times 3 is 18 weeks, which I passed that up a long time ago. I think like it would have been like 4 or 5 months out, and I'm a year out, and still having effects from it. And I'm running out of time, but that was truly the end of my answers that I know of. The muscle loss has been a big thing, and I'm working on it. I'm gonna be Supergirl one day. I'm gonna have it all back. So I'll see you guys in the next video.